Hello, welcome back, and thank you as always for joining us here, for tuning in. And yeah, your dedication and your commitment to forgiveness, to your practice, to prayer, to extending love, whatever that looks like, is of utmost importance today and every day. It does not matter what appears to be going on in the world, whether you live in a place that's peaceful or whether you live in one that's experiencing civil unrest, or whether you live in one that's about to experience extraordinary civil unrest. It's all the same illusion. It's really important that you're doing what you're doing right now, today, this evening, whenever you watch this. It's really important that you're paying attention to the voice of our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, who will guide you. He's guiding you. It's guiding you right now. Otherwise, you'd be watching something else on YouTube, for sure. Because as we all know far too well, there are a lot of channels out there, a lot of content. So here you are. So for that, I thank you. And not just for tuning in and lending a statistic in the form of a view or a like or a love or a comment or a subscription. Oh, by the way, that icon, click subscribe. Not just that, it's what you're doing. And that's very important. So let's talk today a little bit further about chapter 29, section 8 of the text. In the last video, we started going through this section. It's entitled The Antichrist, which is bound to bring up quite a lot, depending on your upbringing, depending on the part of the world where you grew up and were raised, depending on the tradition or traditions you were raised in terms of religion or spirituality or both, or if any, for that matter. So, what is this? What is this? Well, this is one of the passages in paragraphs 3 through 5, which we'll cover over the next few minutes here. It's one of the passages of the Course that shows us the image of a veil. And we have thrown this veil over our face, in a manner of speaking. We cannot see things as they really are. And we take the inside of the veil that we see as we throw it up against our face. We take that for reality. And if it's a black veil, we say the world is black. If it's a white veil, we say the world is blinding white. If it's a different color or a series of colors, we say the world is a series of colors. What's a color? The point here that is repeated, as are almost all the other points, in fact, all of them, throughout A Course in Miracles, everything that Jesus wants us to get is repeated and cast in multiple different ways, because who knows when the message is really going to connect for you. Who knows when? Maybe today. Maybe it was a couple weeks ago or 3 decades ago. I don't know. I don't know, right? And then we think we understand something, and then a whole new layer unveils itself. Yeah, peeling off this veil is often analogized to a veil of multiple layers, and we're peeling them off one act of forgiveness at a time, one communication with the Holy Spirit at a time, giving Him everything, our entire experience for His purposes. Yes, for healing the mind. What else? Because the way we're doing it doesn't work. We're running around with a veil covering our face and wondering why we keep bumping into objects, why we keep bumping into each other and getting mad and starting wars, why we keep bumping into each other and becoming irate. We don't see things as they are. This course is about our lifting the veil so that we do, quite simply, see things as they are. What the course refers to as a miracle, and this is a course in miracles, lifts the veil. Each miracle lifts a layer of this. And let me tell you something that you may or may not believe, but after hearing it, you'll be thinking about it again and again. Your veil is very thin. I know that it is, or you would not be here. It is so thin, in fact, that you can see and feel the light, which the veil obscures from our sight. But yours is so thin that you can see and sense and intuit the light on the other side of it, and you're drawn to it. So do not fear to peel these last few layers off and allow truth to be just as it is, because it has always been. Just as it is, the light has never gone anywhere. Just because we say it's dark because we're wearing a veil over our face does not mean that it's dark, because the light is still there. Truth is still there, despite our mad wandering and believing that we're individual human beings on this wobbling, spinning ball of rock that we refer to, in English at least, as planet Earth. What does that even mean? Nothing. This veil is nothing. It's thinner than you imagine it to be. You're almost there, so keep going. Continue to forgive. If you're not sure what to say, ask. Quite simply, ask the Holy Spirit for His guidance. Ask Him, ask it. It's perfectly appropriate. It's not a dude. Ask your inner teacher to illuminate your mind. Give your mind, your speech, every day, every action of every day over to our inner teacher for His purposes. And step back, step to the side, relax and trust. This is spirituality in a nutshell. Relax and trust. Relax and trust. Yes, relax and trust. Again, repetition. Relax and trust. Seen this before? Good. Do it again. Relax and trust. It's what we do. It's what it looks like. Because this veil is nothing. Illusion is illusion. Truth is truth. Truth is true. Obvious. Yeah. It's true. And it has always been true. There has always been the light. Even though you may not see it, you're wearing a veil. and it's growing really thin. I know that you can see and feel and sense the light. Keep going. You're closer than you imagine. Now, I understand full well that you may be thinking, dude, I'll have what you're smoking because I don't feel very close at all. Yes, do have what I'm smoking in a manner of speaking, the love of the Holy Spirit. That's why this video is appearing. That's why this pixelated image on the screen appears to be talking to you. It's not the image that's talking, it's the Holy Spirit that is talking. He has led you to this course. He has led you to this video amidst all of the content. You want to talk about a needle in a haystack? I mean, you want to talk about something that has a numerically scant probability of taking place. Here you are, and absolutely without coincidence of any kind. You're here for a reason. So keep going. If you have questions, ask. Ask the Holy Spirit first and foremost. What do I do? What do I say? How do I show up and extend love in this world full of hatred? Well, let me tell you something. If I can do it in the midst of a fascist regime, the United States, if you don't believe me that that's what's going on right now, look it up in the dictionary and ask me that again. If I can do it, you can do it. If you live in a place of relative peace, safety, and comfort, you can do it. It's not like the ego isn't going to try to occupy you there, too. Situation that we appear to find ourselves in the world is what it is. It's a dream, an illusion. Now, here's where a lot of people say, oh, you're spiritual bypassing. No, not at all. Here's something about A Course in Miracles that people do understand. It's easy to say that they don't, but they do. You do. I know you do. I trust you. I know you do. Understand that this course does not address affecting change on the level of form at all. God does not do form. He does not do bodies. He does not do political entities or nation states or political parties or regimes at all. Not at all. You do understand that. Doesn't mean that you necessarily agree with that statement, and who cares if you do? You know, I don't care. Pixelated image on your screen, not offended by the resistance that you may be encountering. You want to know why? I've encountered it. We've all encountered it, and we will continue to encounter it. It is the ego that resists. This course does not address effecting political change. It does not affect the world of form. That's not the purpose of it. It's not talking about adding zeros to your bank account, as lovely as that may be. It's not talking about replacing a fascist regime with a newly functioning democracy. It's not talking about that. It's not talking about getting a new job or a new partner or manifesting wealth and abundance. This is not a tradition of that ilk. Jesus, in giving the course, is addressing the mind. This is very important to understand, and I know you do, but we don't want to go there. I get that. It's much more convenient to run off and go do something else. There is no world. How can there be a fascist regime? There's no world. How can there be a stable, functioning, peaceful democracy? There is no world. You do get that, just as you get the fact that we're not bodies. So here's where a lot of people go wrong. They think, okay, well, I'm just going to go vegetate. If there's no world and it's all a dream, why should I show up? Oh no. No, continue to live your life. I insist. That's what I'm doing. Why? Because people look at me and they think I am a human body. They think I'm a middle-aged man. And of course they would. It's a form people can relate to. And you might think, I can hear some of the ego chatter saying, yeah, I can't relate to you. Well, that's all right. You're still watching this. And we all know you don't have to. I mean, it's great that you do, but I mean, come on, we're all adults here, aren't we? Yeah. We can do life however we're currently doing it. And if it means standing up for something that you believe in here in the world, then do that. Here's the thing. We're all invited to pay close attention to this. Do it under the guidance of your inner teacher, who's actually the only inner teacher, our inner teacher. Do it under the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Give it over to Him. If it's political activity, great. There's no separation of any kind. There's no world. How can there be a fascist regime and tyranny in truth? Here in the dream, it's on. So, how do you show up? Because here's the thing, people need you to show up, living what appears to be your normal life, doing what you appear to do for work, showing up with the people that you appear to show up with in relationship or as friends or colleagues or community members or anything like that. People need the light you bring, so it is doing them a great disservice to withhold that. When you withhold forgiveness, you withhold forgiveness from yourself. Why? Your brother is you, literally. There is no separation of any kind. Bodies appear to be different. There appear to be 8 million plus of them that we call human, plus all the other existent life forms. So it appears, right? In truth, there is only perfect oneness. Your brother is you. Forgive, you forgive yourself. Extend love, you love yourself. Withhold love, lash out at your brother in hatred, you lash out at yourself. There is no escaping that, no matter how much you may try to convince yourself otherwise. So go forth and forgive. People need you to show up bringing the light of truth. That's all you have to do. The Holy Spirit will tell you what to say, if anything. Sometimes your silent, steady, loving presence is more than enough. The Holy Spirit doesn't need words to speak, as you well know. So it may be that, or it may be a fiery looking speech. I don't know. It may be a 25-minute discussion on YouTube like this. I have no idea how long we've gone. I never do. It doesn't really matter. What is time? Nothing. People need you. So we show up and we live life, but we don't have to believe in the concrete reality of that. And if you haven't tried it, I invite you to try it because it is quite liberating. Quite liberating. You will find upon doing it that you no longer see things the same way. That is the point. Remember, peeling the veil off, allowing truth to be just as it is because it has always been just as it is. We're the ones that have obscured our vision. And we do not have to continue to do that. So live what appears to be a normal life. Give everything over to the Holy Spirit. You may find yourself renewed in your relationship, in your physical health, in your work life, in your community life, or social life, or whatever, your creative life, whatever that looks like. You may find yourself renewed. So we don't check out. The world does not need us to check out. Yes, it's a dream. Yes, there's no world. Central teaching of this course. What that means is perfectly clear when you allow it to permeate your mind and accept it. We've never left our source, capital S. We've never left our home in God, ever, ever. It's not possible. So if you live someplace that is not undergoing a massive transfer of power from people in general to one individual, if you don't live somewhere like that, you can do this too. Because if we can do it in what is a zone of intense conflict, you can do it too. Now, I invite you to. Now, if you have questions, that is perfectly understandable. Understand if you're new to this and this seems really what we used to call back in the day, far out. If it seems rather esoteric, weird, and wrong, understand that all resistance is of the ego and you're here for a reason. Spirituality is deep self inquiry. We all know that. So there's no such thing as a question that is too beginner-ish, or we would say dumb or stupid. Yeah, questions aren't dumb or stupid, ever. Especially when it comes to this, because this thought system, and it is a thought system, is very different than what we've been raised with. We were raised to think we're all individual human beings out to get our own. That's how we have repressive governments in the world. It's a complete illusion. But meanwhile, while we appear to be here, people need us to shine the light of truth. If you're not sure how to do that, ask the Holy Spirit. If you have questions about the meaning of any of this or what you do to forgive, ask the Holy Spirit. You will be told. And you're welcome to ask me. Part of the purpose of offering these videos is to create a community space and what I hope to be a safe space. By the way, troll comments do not get answered. Ever. Ever. So there have been relatively few of those. However, the Course says what it says and means what it says. There is no world. You're not a body. Who's really ready to embrace that? Well, perhaps you are. Because there is something that's been said here that resonates for you, or you would not still be watching. It's impossible for any of us to watch an entire dialogue from start to finish about spirituality or a path as profound as this without being moved somehow, some way. Even if something that is striking you is troubling. Doubt is perfectly normal on the path. Please feel welcome to ask questions if you have them. And again, this is the subscription prompt over here, that arrow that's been up here in the corner of your screen. Thank you to those of you who have recently joined us. And well, the situation is we're going through the text of A Course in Miracles, but I welcome your questions. So, should you have particular questions, I want to extend the invitation to you to go ahead and ask them. And this comment thread here in YouTube is the perfect place to do just that. So, once again, in closing, I really appreciate your being here, and I invite you to keep going because we're doing it in the midst of the ego's drama. Today's no different than any other day. The ego's all about drama. And bigger, faster, stronger, more egregious, more violent, louder arguments, bigger explosions on the biggest stage. Do not fear, because there's nothing to fear at all. All right. Thank you, as always, for joining.